So this is part 2 of the recap of the Chris Brown's baby drama, Blasian mama drama. You know the drill. Anyway, as I was leaving off on the other video, I have 2 favorite Chinese actresses that both have played Native Americans. One was Joan Chen, who was my all-time favorite, and Vivian Wu, who was like tied up with her. Now, I have a lot of other Chinese actresses that I really love and would love to work with, and it's probably never going to happen because no one's signing me, but okay. The point of the matter is, Native Americans are of Asian descent. So, the young lady that I mentioned in the other video claimed to be black with Cherokee blood. Alright? So here's how that works. That should be insulting to me because she's taking ethnicity that's not hers, because she has been proven to be completely from Thailand. They got her pictures of her parents and all this other shit, and how her mom moved to Germany, so she changed her last name to Harris. Okay. As I said in the other video, with the other black lady who was the white lady disguised as the black lady, you know, first and foremost, we need to try building people up. And if you feel more comfortable being a black person because Asia has a lot of tragedies, you know, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, but Africa also has a lot of tragedies. And while we're on that subject of Africa, there have been a lot of Africans who straight told me that they don't like people who are not African. I didn't believe that until like the Jamaican and Trinidad Tobago wheelchair basketball teams also confirmed that shit, that if you're not from Africa, a lot of Africans just don't fucking like you. Now, as for that, personally, I think it's probably an individual choice, because I have met some very decent African people. Get that out of the way. I have met some very decent African people. And I've met 2, maybe 3 in my lifetime that hated me because I was black and because I was mixed. 2 of them worked at the university, and the only reason they helped me was because they liked Bruce. But they didn't like me, and they let me know. They went out their way to make sure that they told me if we didn't have to work under Bruce, we wouldn't help you at all. She had dreadlocks, and he had dreadlocks. I'm not going to give you their name because they don't deserve that much fucking credit. But the 2 who did was universities that did give me no problems and loved me and treated me normally was my boy Yoko and my boy Tubu. Now, back in high school, I met a guy named Amarai, who was from Africa. He was cool as shit. I don't remember the curly-haired fucker who said that I wouldn't survive when I got off the plane in Africa. Therefore, so it's a give and take. It's a 3 for 3, you know. But then when I met the Trinidad and Tobago wheelchair team and the Jamaican wheelchair team, and they both said that Africans just don't like black people. I have been told that for years. So what does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything. This is why I am defending the young lady who wants to be Blasian. As I said, if you watch my other 2 videos that are like a half-hour long a piece, I specifically say that there has not been a day when I've woken up and has not decided, you know, I wish I was full-blooded Cherokee. Most of that has to do with going to college for free, but I'm honest about it. Also, there's not too many full-blooded Native American stars outside of Adam Beach, William Green, and some other cats. I can't remember their names right now, but they know who they are. But back to that, Joan Chen played a Native American on Deadly Ground. Vivian Wu played a Native American in one of the Tales from the Crypt, where she played Little Drum Beater. Everything I wrote for me as an actor and as a writer in all my scripts, I am either half Native American and black or of half Asian descent and black. I have rarely wrote any stories of me being half black and half white. But that's also because I learned so much more about my culture and what I chose to embrace. Now, we talk about racism. And y'all know I make a racist video every now and again, and this is kind of part of a racist video. I've had more racist incidences with more black people than white people and than with Asian people. I seem to fairly get along better with Asian people and white people. And with black people, it's always been a thing for me. And, you know, everybody's like, if you're not Tiger Woods or if you're not The Rock, you're not Blasian, so we don't really care. But if you understand the concept of the Native Americans are actually Asian too, so I kind of fall into that Blasian persuasion, you know, it's the same thing. as I was growing up, a lot of people have always thought I was Mexican or Hawaiian or Samoan. So, I'm in that mix. Then I'd be like, well, I'm actually Cherokee Indian. And it took a Korean to teach me that Native Americans were Asian and not from the legendary cities of Atlantis. Don't judge me. I used to think we were from Atlantis when I found out I was Native American. Anyway, that neither here or there. The young lady has been called out because she's tan like me. She's like between these two colors. As you can see, if you have great lighting, this is high yellow and this is brown. High yellow, brown. High yellow, brown. I keep a farmer's tan all year round because I just refuse to wear long sleeve shirts unless it's freaking cold as fuck outside. So if I wore a long sleeve shirt for 2 years, maybe 4 years, this might lighten up. The key to that was the word it might lighten up. I might get my full high yellow color back. But for that to happen, I'd probably have to move to Alaska, and I'd probably have to live there for like 4 or 5 years to make up for 40 some odd years of natural tanning under the sun because I refuse to wear long sleeve shirts. So, as I said, there are a lot of people who look in the mirror every day and hate the skin they're in. This is why you have black people doing skin bleaching. It's self-hatred. This is why you have Asian people tanning to look more Hawaiian or Samoan versus they're being Korean or Chinese or, just tanning up so that they don't look so pale. And this is the thing. Your region of Asia, if you are Asian, will determine your skin tone. She's from Taiwan or Thailand. It's a tropical area, so it's pretty warm there. Most people from Vietnam are just a little bit lighter than I am. And if you're like more from China or Japan, you're a little bit more lighter than I am. You're like my mama's color light. Which, by the way, once I lost my mom in Scottsville because she looked so white, she blended in with all the white people. And on that day, specifically, there were only 2 black people in Scottsville that day, me and the guy in the gun shop. And the guy in the gun shop wasn't even buying a gun, he was buying a fucking fishing rod. And I was going to buy a bow and arrow, and they gave me the directions to Keswick to go buy a bow and arrow, and that's what I did. Anyway, the thing about being mixed is that, you have a little bit more of a struggle. Alright? So I'm going to make another video that's not here or there, but this video is about being mixed, and that'll be my final video for the night. So I hope you guys understand that I'm defending this young lady because of the simple fact that maybe we don't know her situation. Maybe it's because she was Asian and she was treated so badly, and since some Asians have darker skin than other Asians, maybe people automatically just assumed that she was dark and Asian, and that way she was kind of Blasian, right? Now, let me give you the negatives before I get out. This video is going to get a little longer. Yeah. This is going to get a little bit negative, alright? Because there are some children from Japan and Vietnam of U.S. soldiers that they refer to as dust child. And I forgot the Japanese word for it, but it means not pure Japanese. We're the children of the Japanese who had American soldiers either rape them or they chose to marry them, but then those laws prevented them from being able to come back to America, even though the marriage is legit by the house of God. It wasn't legit by the United States. A lot of suicides happened that way too. But there have been some darker Japanese who were also just born dark Japanese and have no black or nothing in them. It's all about that climate. So I learned that too from my second father who had a Japanese stepmother. So it's a long, tangled up story that we're not going to dig into. But a lot of Asians have different colors. Samoans are very, very tan. Polynesians are very, very tan. But the tropical island Asians are tan. But also some of the other Asians are tan either by genetic, either by climate, or just by sheer bad luck. So this young lady looks like she's my color. So maybe it's because she's from Thailand and they're a little darker in Thailand. She may not have a drop of black blood in her, but that doesn't mean she can't be brown. Okay? Because the world is full of brown people, and not all of them are black. Alright? And that's the thing that people need to understand. The world is full of brown people, and the people we call the red man or the yellow man are actually the same man, because Asians actually are a bulk of the race of the world. And their genetic pool is generally the strongest, which is why if you have a white woman and an Asian man, you make a pretty, you're Asian baby. Same thing with an Afro-Asian baby. Shit happens, and it depends on who, I guess, puts in the most work when they're stroking. I tried to make that as non-sexual as possible. Epic fail. But anyway, the whole thing is, when you are a person who looks in the mirror and you see who you are, you start modifying. I'm going to go have surgery to straighten up my eyes. A lot of Asians have been put down, so they go and get the surgery to get rid of the epileptic fold. I didn't say that right, but they get rid of it, and this is generally a woman thing, so they look more whitish, because society has raised them to self-hate themselves, which will be in my mixed video, which will be after this. But, the thing is, people make us hate ourselves. Growing up mixed when I was in school, and when people found out I was mixed, when my mom came to school, it was like, oh, the perspective of me completely changed. Because black people, and I'll say this, and I'll put it in my other video as well, and I've put it in another video before this, have a color wheel. Literally, we have a color wheel. You can tell which black people are closer related to white people by this color wheel and their skin tone. Alright, so if my mom was born way back in slavery time, since she looked so white that you could bounce a white ball off her forehead, she would have been a house person who probably would have never went out, and they probably would have just passed her off as the master's daughter so that she would never have slavery, and she would probably never face the rapes and the horrors that a lot of our ancestors have faced. That's right, I said rapes and horrors, because a lot of females in the slave community were raped by their masters and their overseers, and they got pregnant because there was no birth control. So they would spawn out little mixed babies. People like me. So that's how that shit happened. So to say that this woman may have been in a situation where people decided that because her Asian skin wasn't like everybody else's Asian skin, they decided to pick on her, bully her. Maybe that's why she told him she was Blasian. Maybe that's why she said she was born in America with being half Asian and being black with Cherokee blood. Alright? Now, you would think that that would offend me because I'm part Cherokee and I'm part black, and I have Cherokee blood. But it didn't offend me for the simple fact that, I've been in a situation just like that, where, people are like, you're not pure blood. Now, mind you, that only happened one time with one Asian tribe of Native Americans that came from wherever the hell they came from, and the guy wouldn't let me talk to a woman who very well could have been my future wife, but I wasn't pure blood, and he did everything he could to make sure that I didn't speak to her for the rest of that day, which was their last day here. The whole time we were talking, he never had a problem until he caught me by myself, and he sent her away, and then he put me down. And to wherever that guy is, shame on you. I didn't ask to be born mixed. That's not my choice. You take that up with the Great Spirit when you go meet him. Anyway, the whole thing is that a lot of people don't understand someone's situation. And if you have been kicked and beat down by bullies verbally, you will change who you are. I have been dealing with names because I have been dealing with the fact that I am part black, part Cherokee, and part white, and being mixed hasn't really worked out in my favor. And to be honest, I have been thinking about molding and putting myself out as just Cherokee. But what happened to her could happen to me. So if I'm just honest from the jump and just be the multicultural guy that I am, I got a better chance of doing that. However, I still could change my name to a Native American name. Kit, Grey Wolf, Longfeather, Kit, Fang, Grey Wolf. Those are the names I've been toying with. I could be Kit, Crow, Longfeather. Working on names. If you guys like those names, put something in the bottom line in the comments if this video even gets a watch. But the bottom line is you don't know what someone's mental stress or what they're physically been through to make them want to not be the race that they are. Alright? Me being multicultural, been picked all my life with my favorites. You're not a real nigger, you're a half nigger. You're not a real honky, you're a half honky. And then when they found out I was Cherokee, it's like, oh, you're just a bona fide mutt. I'm okay with being a bona fide mutt. This is Comic Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.